Hi, and warm greetings to all of you. Welcome to Audiobook Chill, the channel that shares knowledge for holistic self-development through books. Be honest with yourself. Do you feel like your time is being eaten alive every day? You sit at your desk for 8 hours, but your output is only equal to 2 hours of someone else's work. You try to read a book, but after 15 minutes, your mind is wandering somewhere else. This isn't a lack of willpower. This is a form of mental epidemic of the 21st century. The problem is not that you lack determination. The problem is that you are making fatal mistakes, which science calls flow-killing mistakes. These errors silently drain your energy and your joy in living. Conversely, have you ever touched a moment where everything unfolds perfectly? The work is flowing, you feel immense excitement. You forget both time and yourself, and upon completion, you feel a profound sense of pleasure, a rare, deep satisfaction. The psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi calls this state of self-forgetfulness the optimal experience, the flow state. Audiobook Chill believes that if you are on the path to self-improvement and development, then understanding and mastering the flow state is absolutely necessary. It is the secret to turning boring tasks into exciting challenges and chaos into internal order. The book Flow is not just an outstanding work of psychology. It is a scientific work that synthesizes the lifetime research of psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi himself. The author explains the concept of flow in detail as follows. When an individual concentrates completely on an activity, a feeling of intense euphoria and deep satisfaction arises. At this moment, all of a person's actions and thoughts are seamlessly linked like a flowing stream of water. Their potential is activated to its extreme. Flow is the catalyst on every individual's path to development. It is the state where you can no longer distinguish between who you are and what you are doing, because everything has merged into one. When you concentrate deeply and enter the flow state, you encounter a powerful version of yourself. But why is it that most of us cannot reach this state, even after reading dozens of productivity books? Today, Audiobook Chill will not only discuss the definition of flow, but will focus on sharing the 5 unexpected mistakes that kill your focus and destroy the flow state that you make every day, along with extremely practical solutions from other great works like Deep Work and The Philosophy of Mindfulness. Now, please join me in listening to this shared content. Mistake number 1. Refusing to open the door of focus. Step through the door of focus and return to yourself. The author of the book Limitless, Jim Quick, conducted a survey and found that most successful executives report being able to frequently maintain a peak state. During these times, their work performance is 4 times higher than average. This peak state is none other than the flow experience. The most frightening thing is that, in the era of information overload, focus has become a rare form of currency. On average, we check our phones more than 80 times a day, and it takes only 10 minutes to return to a task after a single interruption. This keeps the door to flow almost completely shut. The book Flow mentions a thought-provoking case study showing that the issue lies in the choice to focus. 2 workers performing assembly line work at a factory in the same environment and under the same conditions yielded completely different results. The first worker found the work extremely boring. He went to work distracted, thinking about unrelated matters, worrying about a flat tire or the electrical appliances at home, always feeling tired and overwhelmed. He often couldn't keep up with the pace of his colleagues. His life was a monotonous series of days. The second worker truly enjoyed the work he was doing. He was immersed in it, treating it as a personal game to conquer. The joy that surged within him drove him to constantly think about how to find ways to complete the work faster and better. He strived for deep concentration, practiced, and eventually cut the assembly time from 43 seconds down to 28 seconds, earning recognition and rewards. He managed to create flow from a repetitive job. The difference lies in the fact that one person could easily block distractions, maintain focus, and experience the flow state during work. The other could not, and he paid the price with mental exhaustion. The Russian educator Usinsky once said, "Focus is the only door to our soul." Everything in your consciousness must pass through focus to go deeper within. If you cannot open this door, you will lose connection with your inner consciousness, unable to know your potential, your mission, and most importantly, you will fail to experience true joy. This continuous surrender of focus is not just about productivity, it is about a fundamental loss of control over the self. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi emphasizes that attention is our most vital psychological energy. What we attend to, literally, is our life. If we allow external forces, emails, social media, notifications, to direct our attention, we are essentially letting them dictate the contents of our consciousness. The self, in the context of flow, is not a fixed entity. It is the information that you process and store in your mind. When you enter flow, your entire being is unified toward a single goal. This process of deliberate, intense focus creates a coherent, organized structure within your mind. This is how flow actively builds and strengthens the self. Every time you conquer a complex challenge and achieve flow, you integrate that positive experience and skill into your sense of who you are. Your sense of competence grows, and you become a more complex, resilient individual. Conversely, without this effort, your consciousness descends into chaos and fragmentation. It is an existential crisis disguised as a productivity problem. Consequence of mistake 1. Mental entropy, inner chaos. The thing that is currently preventing your life from being as desired is chaos. Entropy is a physics concept referring to the increase in the level of disorder. Mihaly borrowed this concept for psychology. Research shows that whenever we do anything without focus, a phenomenon called loss of inner order or mental entropy occurs. Entropy disrupts your mind, causing thought patterns to break, emotions to become scrambled, leading to the disintegration of consciousness and the self. The mind becomes as weary as a messy room after a storm. This reduces your performance in both learning and work to the lowest level. Restructuring solution: counter entropy with deep work. To develop ourselves and reclaim inner order, we must find ways to counter entropy by frequently increasing the density of flow state experiences. The first core factor for entering flow is complete concentration. When you pour all your mental energy into one task, entropy is pushed back, and order and energy are regenerated. The book Deep Work by Newport almost perfectly complements flow. The profoundly interwoven lesson between these two books lies in deep concentration. When you train yourself to focus completely on one thing, almost every bottleneck in your life will be resolved. The invisible tax, the cost of context switching. Before we dive into the solutions, we must acknowledge the silent killer of focus: context switching. Every time you shift your attention from a deep task to check a text message or a new email, your brain incurs a cognitive cost. It's not just the 30 seconds you took to read the notification. Research by Sophie Leroy shows that a residue of attention remains on the previous task. This residue makes it impossible for you to immediately achieve full performance on the new task. You are constantly dragging a mental anchor from the past. This fragmented attention is the ideal breeding ground for mental entropy. Deep work, therefore, is not just about focusing. It's about strategically minimizing this cognitive residue. It's about building walls between your shallow work and your deep, meaningful work. You can apply 4 strategies from deep work to build the habit of deep work. The rhythmic strategy. This is the most common approach, requiring you to set fixed times to concentrate fully as a daily habit. You turn deep work into an unbreakable ritual. Example: dedicate 90 minutes in the morning from 7:30 to 9 o'clock with no phone, email turned off, concentrating completely on the most important task of the day. For many, this is the most sustainable method. It works because it removes the need for constant willpower. The focus session becomes automatic, like brushing your teeth. You don't decide to do it, you do it because the clock says so. The bimodal strategy. This strategy is suitable for those with more flexible roles. You alternate periods of deep work and shallow work. Example: dedicate 4 full days to intense, isolated concentration to solve important projects, often away from the main office, and use the remaining 3 days or afternoons for miscellaneous tasks, meetings, and email responses. You create alternating peaks of high concentration. This method acknowledges that collaboration and communication are necessary, but it walls them off so they don't contaminate the deep creative process. The monastic strategy. This is the most extreme strategy. It requires you to cut off all contact with the outside world, isolating yourself in a separate environment for an extended period, weeks or months, to achieve absolute concentration. It is typically suitable for creatives, writers, or researchers who need complete solitude. Historically, many great thinkers and artists used this approach, retiring to remote locations to eliminate all external demands. The journalistic strategy. This is the most difficult strategy, but effective for those with busy and difficult to control schedules. It trains the ability to flexibly shift into a state of high concentration at any point in the schedule. It requires immense practice and control over your inner world. Example: you have 30 minutes between meetings, and you immediately decide to use those 30 minutes to write a script section without any warm-up time. Mastering this strategy means you are not reliant on perfect conditions. You can build the flow channel anywhere. Audiobook Chill finds that the journalistic strategy is the hardest, but yields the highest results, helping you achieve peak performance, connect deeply with every activity through conscious intention, and live a more complete life. Remember, the ability to focus is the most valuable asset you can invest in. If these insights help you realize the value of focus, don't hesitate to subscribe to the Audiobook Chill channel right now and hit the notification bell to explore the secrets of flow and self-development together every week. Mistake number 2. Slavery to negative emotions. The next mistake we make is allowing negative emotions to dominate us. The author of Flow points out a liberating truth. Negative emotions and behaviors like depression, fatigue, and laziness are not caused by the events themselves, but by false beliefs stemming from your own perception and subjective assessment of that event. Example: you look at a mountain of work. Person 1, "Oh, this work is beyond me. I will fail." False belief leads to negative emotions, quitting, no flow. Person 2, "This is a tough challenge, but it will help me learn a new skill. Let's see what I can achieve." Correct belief leads to excitement, seeking solutions, achieving flow. In reality, even when facing work you don't like, you can still find pleasure in it, provided you meet two conditions. Positive mindset. Stop complaining, stop perceiving the work only as a burden. See it as an opportunity to train your mental capacity. Self-suggestion, affirmation. Tell yourself that you like this work, or at least that you acknowledge its deeper meaning. Example, this work helps me earn money to support my family. It helps me develop a critical skill. Restructuring solution. Change identity and affirmation to reprogram the mind. Just as in the book A Mind for Numbers, it says, if you fear math, to improve, you must first change your belief. Believe that math is not scary and that you genuinely love it. Or, as the book Atomic Habits points out, before forming any habit, first establish your identity. Don't say, I am trying to write a script. Say, I am a scriptwriter. When you act based on identity, your psychology automatically cooperates with the action. Imagine yourself as an expert in that field. Your identity will naturally guide you past the initial fears. This is similar to a technique Mihaly introduced, learning to dream with purpose. You need to use your imagination to set goals and reshape your core beliefs. The example of Michael Jordan and the power of self-affirmation. A prime example is Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time. In high school, he was only 1.75 meters tall and was once cut from the school basketball team for being too short. This fact could lead anyone to despair. But he was incredibly passionate about basketball and often silently told himself, I must grow taller, grow taller, grow taller. He turned the disappointment into a clear goal for self-suggestion. Every day he longed to grow taller and thus sought every means possible, jumping rope, hanging from a pull-up bar, eating nutritious food, and training relentlessly. The miracle happened. Within 1.5 years, his height rapidly increased from 1.75 meters to 1.92 meters. Effective self-affirmation must have a clear goal and require step-by-step planning for execution. Without action to reinforce the belief, imagination will only be delusion. Self-affirmation helps you create a favorable mental order for flow to occur. Mistake 3. Choosing the wrong challenge. Comfortable futility. The author indicates that the flow state only occurs within a narrow flow channel, when you are doing work that is not too difficult and also not too easy for you. Imagine a two-dimensional chart. The vertical axis is your skill, and the horizontal axis is the challenge of the task. If skill less than challenge, too much, you will fall into the area of anxiety and pressure. You will give up because it feels overwhelming, or you will be stressed. If skill greater than challenge, too much, you will fall into the area of boredom and distraction. The work is too easy. You won't be motivated. Your mind will wander, leading to distraction and no flow. The book, Waking Up, emphasizes that the best area for learning and growth is the edge of the comfort zone. You need to step out of your comfort zone, create a small challenge for yourself, but don't go too far. Work in the vicinity of comfort. These are tasks you can easily control. Actions occur naturally, flowing, yet still enough to stimulate your abilities. Balance is the key. If you find the work you are doing too easy, boring, increase the complexity of the challenge. Example, instead of just writing 1,000 words, try writing 1,000 words in a shorter time, or writing with a more difficult structure. Or try adding a self-imposed constraint, such as writing the first draft without touching the backspace key. This small adjustment is enough to push you back into the flow channel. If you find the work you are doing too hard, anxiety, strengthen your skills by learning or break the task down into smaller, controllable steps. The anxiety comes from feeling a lack of control. By reducing the scope of the problem to something manageable, you shift from feeling panicked to feeling competent. Always ask, what is the single smallest step I can take right now? The Four-Quadrant Matrix of Consciousness. To truly master the flow channel, visualize the 4 states you can be in. Arousal, high challenge, moderate skill. This is the gateway to flow, often mistaken for light anxiety. It's the I'm ready feeling. Control, high skill, moderate challenge. This is the second gateway, a state of relaxation and competency. Anxiety, high challenge, low skill, the panic zone. Solution, improve skill, learn, or reduce challenge, simplify. Boredom, low challenge, high skill, the stagnation zone. Solution, increase challenge, innovate, or find a new task. The secret is to constantly monitor your inner state and make dynamic adjustments to stay between arousal and control. The power of microflow, transforming the mundane. Mihaly discovered that flow isn't reserved only for artists or athletes. We can achieve microflow even in the most mundane tasks by imposing intentional challenge. Consider the task of washing dishes. It is typically low challenge, high skill, leading to boredom. To induce microflow, you could challenge yourself to finish cleaning before a certain song ends. Focus intently on the visual beauty of the bubbles or the temperature change of the water. Mindfulness-based flow. Attempt to achieve maximum efficiency in movement, minimizing wasted steps or drips. By deliberately injecting a specific, measurable goal and focusing completely on the process, you transform a chore that breeds mental entropy into a small moment of inner order and satisfaction. When you master microflow, you are training your mind to find happiness in being rather than having. When that happens, you will receive feedback quickly and gain a deep sense of satisfaction from within. This means the work you are doing must achieve harmony between mind and action. It does not cause internal conflict, but on the contrary, creates a harmonious action order. Mistake number 4. Chasing surface dopamine. Audiobook Chill wants to emphasize: the unrestrained pursuit of greed, or in other words, the chase after extrinsic rewards, will never help us achieve the flow state sustainably. Our brain has 2 reward systems. Fast dopamine system, associated with curiosity, exploration, and especially greed. When you check notifications, scroll through social media, or think about earning more money, dopamine is released. This is the stimulating substance that makes you want more, wanting, but does not create genuine satisfaction, liking. It is the surface reward. Endorphin-serotonin system, associated with deep satisfaction, the feeling of completion, connection, and the flow state itself. This is the intrinsic reward. Deep analysis example on the trade-off. Example: if you force yourself to earn a lot of money through a job that you do not acknowledge deep down, you despise the way it operates to entice people to buy your company's products, or the job is purely repetitive and lacks challenge. Even when you perfectly meet the KPIs, you do not feel deep satisfaction. You only achieve temporary gratification from the released dopamine, which makes you continue striving for higher status, believing that higher status will bring happiness. But when you achieve those things, you will eventually feel empty, because the reward does not come from the process, but only from the external result. The author of Flow calls this the life of unrestrained ambition, whose goal is accumulation, not experience. Such a life is dominated by external factors, causing you to lose control over the quality of your consciousness. Therefore, choose work that is not dominated by desire, but driven by personal intrinsic goals, intrinsic motivation. It must be work that is challenging but not too difficult, and you genuinely feel it is meaningful when doing it. Then you can dedicate yourself completely to the work, combined with deep concentration. You will feel time disappear, forgetting even yourself. It is at this very moment that you are experiencing the true flow state and receiving the highest intrinsic reward. Mistake 5. Fear of solitude. This is the most fatal mistake in the age of information explosion. We lack a solid inner discipline, and we are afraid of being alone. Most people don't know how to be alone. Even less do they know how to enjoy solitude. When alone, your mind constantly stirs with worries, and you have to pick up your phone, turn on a movie, or play games to fill the void in your soul. We flee from silence because we fear facing the uncleaned mental entropy. The author of Flow says, "The main reason here is our lack of a solid inner discipline, becoming lazy year after year, causing mental entropy to become increasingly severe chaos. Enriching the flow experience is the only way to rebuild that inner discipline." Restructuring solution. High-quality solitude. Solitude is the opportunity that allows us to most easily discover the flow state. Because solitude eliminates most sources of distraction from society and the environment, forcing you to turn inward. Mindfulness. Chine Neum. The teacher you have studied under, Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, taught, "Mindfulness means that we bring our consciousness to be present in every action we are performing in the present moment. Mindfulness in eating, mindfulness in walking, mindfulness in brushing teeth. Any action in daily life is an opportunity for you to connect deeper and achieve a form of quiet flow. It is how you focus on the process rather than the result. Turning solitude into flow. Find activities that can create flow, such as hiking, baking, learning to dance, gardening, sewing your own clothes, learning a new language. These small hobbies and pleasures will become flow sanctuaries in your mind, helping to soothe complex emotions, thereby adjusting and reinforcing yourself. Example of the 60-year-old woman recreating life through flow. A woman over 60, after her husband passed away and her children grew up, lived alone on a secluded island. The loneliness in the silence left her utterly helpless and depressed. But instead of giving in, she decided to seek order and meaning in her daily activities. She started reading books about local history, writing a diary, or painting her thoughts. She did meticulous craft work, carefully sewing. These wonderfully rich experiences, though small, led her into an immensely vast spiritual world. In this world, she could forget time and overcome sorrow. Gradually, she also grew flowers, raised livestock, and used a board to write jokes she composed. She turned her solitude into a laboratory for training consciousness. She was no longer caught up in negative emotions. Her soul grew stronger. Although still living alone, she did not feel empty or helpless, because flow continuously filled the voids in her soul with creativity and intrinsic joy. Conclusion and call to action. In the process of seeking the flow state, we inevitably have to endure the solitude of facing problems alone and continuous boredom. But this difficulty and hardship are only temporary. They are the necessary challenges for you to grow. Audiobook Chill wants to conclude with a powerful quote from the book Flow. Anyone who can persevere through suffering and failure will have their life become a continuous flow. It is a sequence of experiences of complete, consistent, and orderly concentration, creating boundless meaning and joy from that inner order. Therefore, set specific, clear goals, concentrate deeply, love the work you do, be wholeheartedly committed, and patiently overcome. You will become stronger than ever with the help of the flow state on your path to self-development. Thank you for listening. If you found this video helpful, please share it with those who need it. And a final question for you. Which of the 5 flow-killing mistakes is haunting you the most? Leave a comment below. We will discuss it together and find a solution for ourselves. Once again, thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next videos from Audiobook Chill.